Welcome to Money, Manifestation, and Business, the podcast that shows you how to use your energy, intention, and consciousness to reprogram your money mindset, unleash a new level of possibility, and create a life and business that lights you up. I'm your host, Jamie Berman, and I invite you to join me each week for a dose of inspiration, coaching, and teachings to help you rewrite your money story, create abundance on your terms, and grow your business in a way that's fully aligned for you. This is going to be so much fun. Let's dive in. My friend, welcome to the 100th episode of the podcast. Oh my gosh, 100 episodes in. I am so celebrating this moment. It's amazing. I want to take a moment to thank all of you who have been tuning in from many of you since the start, or who have been tuning in for a while, listening to the episodes. And for those of you who are new, thank you for being here from the bottom of my heart, because I have loved putting this content out into the world for the past 100 weeks. It has been such a joy, such a pleasure. It is truly my favorite place to come and share and create content. So thank you for being here with me. It's been such a journey, and it is so wild that it is coinciding with a time in my life where I feel like so much is both coming to completion, and it feels like massive new beginnings. It feels like a huge closing of, I was gonna say a chapter, but me and my husband were talking about it and we're like, no, we've closed many chapters. This feels like the closing of a whole book, and a whole new series is being written. A whole new book is being written, right? It's like part 2. Because there's so much change happening, and what's wild is that it feels like the vision, the biggest vision that I have held for the past 5 to 10 years, and what's been on my vision board, is all coming to life right now as we speak. It is all manifesting. And much of it has already manifested, but the final pieces are all coming together right now. And I truly feel like in the past 10 years, I have wholeheartedly 10x'd my life, if not 100x'd my life, right? So that's why I wanted to make our 100th episode about 10x'ing your life, because I've gone through the process over the past 10 years, and I'm coming to a close of this 10x, and it's an interesting thing. I say it's a close, but it's like so fun to look back at a vision board and say, wow, everything on there has happened. And these dreams that felt so huge and so impossible at one point are now happening. And it's almost this weird space of like, when you get everything you want, when you've 10x'd your life and created the vision that you've been envisioning for so long and anticipating and so excited about, it's sort of like, whoa, this is an interesting feeling. Now what? What do I have to look forward to now? Right? And there's a part of me who is so excited to just like receive this. And I'm not just excited to, but I am receiving this. And I'm so grateful for it, and it's really special and amazing. And there's also a part of me that is in an interesting space where I'm like, well, what's next? Now that I have everything, now that my life is kind of like exactly what I've dreamed of, what is next for us? And there's that question mark. And that's what got me thinking about this concept of 10xing, because I remember going to a mastermind at the life coach school where I got trained as a master certified coach. And the instructor there, Brooke Castillo, had posed this question that I thought was so eye-opening. She said, okay, if you could rate your life on a scale of 1 to 10, like full life, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate it? And I'm going to give you a moment to think about that. What would your number be? What would your rating be? Think about that internally for yourself. And then she said, what if, right? Whatever number you gave it, what if your life right now is actually only a 2? think about how much more is possible. And I loved that because I remember at the time rating my life, oh, it's probably like an 8, maybe even a 9, right? And right now that's how I'm thinking. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've manifested so many of the things that I wanted, like the career. I completely shifted my relationship with money. I started creating so much abundance. I have the best clients in the entire world. I have an amazing business that I only could have dreamed of 10 years ago. And, you know, I've got my amazing husband and my little family with Millie, and, you know, we're moving to Hawaii, my dream to move there full time. We're moving to Maui into a beautiful home. And, you know, my husband's dream is also coming true. And I always hold his dreams as mine as well. I have his dreams on my vision board just as much as I have mine because I love celebrating together. And I feel like we're a little unit. And, you know, Josh has created this incredible album that he has been wanting to do for years. And he has all of these huge record labels interested in him and huge managers were interested in him, and right now he's in the negotiation phase and he's really stepping into that, and that is a dream come true. And it seems like it's all manifesting kind of together at one time. And so it's so wild to think, like, what if this is only a 2? Right? Like, I would call this almost a 10. Probably, you know, life, you know, we're still humans here. So let's say a 9 to 10. But it's so fun to think, what if this is a 2? What is my next 10x? And while I'm not rushing the answer to that, it's something that I think is really fun to meditate on. And it's something that I want to encourage you to meditate on as well. What if your life right now is only at a 2? What would a 10 be? Right? And so in today's episode, I have some questions that I want to pose to you. And it's something that, you know, you might want to re-listen to this episode and pause it at certain times, use it as an opportunity for reflection and journaling. And you can pause, like, as I go through these questions, you can write some of them down that feel exciting to you if you go through it a second time. And really think about this, journal on it, meditate on it. So these are some of the questions that I am going to be asking myself as I step into that next chapter, as we start writing that new series, the new next book, right? Or maybe, like, I don't know, it's like part 2 of me and Josh's life together, right? Where it feels amazing, but like, what is possible? What else could we manifest? What else could we create? What would it be if our life was only a 2 now? So these are some of the questions that I am going to be journaling and meditating on. So one of them is, what is a dream you've quietly carried but have never fully claimed? Another question is, if there were no limits, what would you allow yourself to want? What's one desire you've labeled as unrealistic that actually lights you up? And what is your soul craving more of? What would you let go of if you knew everything was going to work out better than expected? Where in your life are you settling instead of receiving more? What is ready to come into your life if only you've created the space for it? Let me say that one more time. What is ready to come into your life if only you'd create space for it? What would you do if you weren't afraid? What are you being called to say yes to right now? And lastly, what if your current life is only at a 2? What would a 10 look and feel like? Now, these are the questions I'm going to be sitting with in the next phase of my life. Now, again, I'm going to be soaking in the goodness of what I've already created and just appreciating the heck out of that. But I do think as humans, we thrive in evolution. We thrive in thinking about a positive future, right? And we thrive in expansion. So these questions just open up possibility for us. And the truth is, there is no impossible. I can say that, fully, especially after, this year. I'm like, wow, the things that I thought were so impossible are coming to life. And so many of my impossible dreams have come to life. So I would encourage you to reflect on those questions, to meditate on them, to journal on them, to think about what is your 10x life in full. And it can be business, money, relationships, family life, right? You can think about community. What matters to you? What do you want to be doing? How does your soul really want to express? Is there something within you that you know you want, but you just haven't really given yourself the permission to do it, or you didn't feel let me say that again. Or you didn't feel quite ready? That's what I want you to start thinking about, all right? And then I'm gonna tell you the process of creating that 10x life, because I am telling you, I've already just thinking about the past 10 years and what's actually manifested for me. I wanna tell you about the lessons that I've learned in this and how you can really apply them to your life and you can create your own 10x life. So the first one is, it's not about more effort, it's about aligned energy. So you do not create your 10x life by 10xing the hustle, by 10xing action, by trying harder, by pushing harder. It is not about that. You can't 10x your life that way, right? You can maybe 2x your life that way, but that's exhausting and you're only 2xing your results. You're not actually 2xing your full life, right? In terms of how you feel, how you experience life, your inner world. You just can't double down and do it that way. So if you want to 10x, it's about a shift in identity. It's about a shift in the way that you think. You have to 10x your mindset. Think differently, right? That is how it's done. So again, it's not about more efforting, more pushing, more controlling. It's about less of all of that. And it's about coming more into alignment with the truth of who you are. That is how you're going to 10x your life. So here's a question for you. Where are you trying to force growth instead of aligning with it? That is important to ask yourself. Growth happens through alignment. Growth happens through having a vision and moving towards that vision. Growth happens from thinking in new ways. It happens from growing internally, growing your mindset, investing in yourself. This is what's going to allow you to have that 10x life. So another question that I want to ask you around this is, what would become available if you gave yourself permission to stop trying harder? That, my friend, is not the solution. It's not about trying harder. It's about coming more and more into alignment. Okay, the second piece that I wanted to give you around 10xing your life is it's really important to let go of what no longer belongs. And this is in many levels. And I've said this inside of the money manifestation movement. One of the teachings I share in the very, very beginning under our foundational videos, I said so much of manifestation is not about adding on. It's actually about letting go, right? It's letting go of the things that are not in alignment with what it is you really want. Whether that is people, relationships, thought patterns, habits, right? Ways of being that are just not in alignment with your higher self. If you simply focus on letting go of what doesn't belong, letting go of what's not in alignment, what is in alignment will move in with so much more ease and so much faster. So think about that for yourself. What doesn't belong in your 10x life? And do you have the courage to let it go? Let it go. It's not going to be the easiest thing you've ever done. It's not going to feel safe, probably. It's not going to feel cozy to let it go. I mean, you're used to it. Your energetic set point up to this point is used to having that thing. But it is not in alignment with your highest, most wisest, wealthiest self. So you must let it go if you want to create a 10x life. All right, the third piece that I have learned is you have to become your future self before you feel ready to be your future self. What I mean by this, I always say become her now. You have to start showing up as that version of you see in that vision in order to manifest it, right? So the way that I did this was whenever, for example, my first impossible goal was to create a $100,000 business. So I thought, what does a $100,000 CEO do? She gets ready, she has work hours, she dresses nicely for work, she shows up in a certain energy, she shows up with a certain seriousness of her business, she doesn't put things off, she doesn't procrastinate. I became her before I was actually making the $100,000, right? So that's what you want to do if you want to 10x. You have to step into the identity first. You have to start thinking like your future self does. And if you want to learn how to align with your future self, I actually have a meditation called Becoming an Energetic Match that dives deeper into this concept. And I have a meditation that helps your subconscious really go in and meet that 10x version of you, really see that version of you and connect with it on a subconscious level so that you can start understanding who is that version of you and you can start aligning with them. I'm going to put that meditation in the show notes that you can get. It is so powerful on this journey. The fourth thing that I really did to step into my 10x life is I focused on having a spiritual practice because 10x results come from soul aligned clarity, not scattered effort. So it was really important and is really important to me that I come back to center. I come back to source every single day and I plug in. I literally think of it as plugging myself in. I have an electric car. The car does not go on empty. You have to plug it in every night if you want to keep driving. I love the fact that I don't ever have to go to a gas station. I just get to plug my car in every single night. But it's not going to go if I don't plug it in. And it's the same for me. And it's the same for you. If you do not plug yourself into your source, your highest self, your intuition, into presence, and if you do not give yourself time for that, you will limit your life. That is guaranteed. So much of, I know what I have created has been as an effect of this spiritual practice of plugging in every day. And that looks different for everyone, right? So plugging in can be as simple as meditating every day. It can be doing your internal work. It can be getting coached. It can be going to the gym and working out and really moving the energy through your body. And it might look different every day, but it's so important that you have a practice that brings you back to you. So important, because that is where, the 10x life is going to come from. That is where those aligned ideas, you will be able to hear your intuition. You will be able to hear the universe's or God's guidance, who is instructing you towards it. So plug in daily. It's huge. The other thing that I have noticed over these past 10 years of creating my 10x life is that you don't get there in a straight line. And oftentimes it doesn't even feel like you're going anywhere, right? A lot of these past 10 years, I felt like I was going nowhere fast. Like it felt like nothing was happening, right? It didn't always feel like a 10x life. There was some obstacles that I had to overcome. Sometimes there was definitely a struggle. I had moments where I went through depression and burnout and all kinds of different things for my learning, for my evolution. And so it's never going to be a straight line, but if you keep at it, it will happen, right? So I just don't believe in the thought it won't happen, right? It's like, if it hasn't happened, it just didn't happen yet. That's it, right? So anytime you're thinking it won't happen for me, or what if it doesn't happen, it's always, it just hasn't happened yet. I want you to add that on to your sentence. It hasn't happened yet. It's never a straight line. And it's wild how some things, it's like you hear about this on overnight success, 10 years in the making, right? Because that wasn't a straight line. That was a person committed to their 10x life and going for it and getting knocked down and standing back up and hitting an obstacle, overcoming that obstacle. They just keep moving. And if you just keep moving towards it, you absolutely will create it. You have to know that deep in your bones, right? And then sometimes it all comes at once, right? There's so many things that are coming to me at once. My first big manifestation in these past 10 years was losing 50 pounds and really healing my relationship with my body, because that used to be my biggest struggle. And I really have gotten my health fine-tuned. My body is strong. I feel radiantly healthy. My hormones are balanced. I'm beyond grateful for that, right? That was the first one. And then it was my business and money, and really learning and stepping into the identity of a CEO and someone who really can serve and have impact in a big way, and who can make the kind of money that I want to. That was a big lesson for me and a big evolution for me. But in these past couple years, or really past year, is where so much of it all is coming together, where we can officially move now. And, it just feels like the right time to sell our house in LA. And Josh is getting all of these amazing offers and things that are coming into place for him. So none of this felt like a straight line. It felt like we were constantly working towards it, but all of a sudden, a lot of it is manifesting at once. So just remember, it's never gonna feel like a straight line. It doesn't always feel like it's working, but that's why it's important to celebrate the little wins all along the way. You should be celebrating the little things every single week and really enjoy the journey. Learn to enjoy your life now. Don't get caught up in, I'll be happy once I'll be happy once the 10x life. Not at all. You wanna learn to be happy now, and that is how you manifest the 10x life. And when I say happy now, I don't mean happy 100% of the time, but I mean having the energy of gratitude, of abundance, of love, of compassion, of kindness, these types of energies being your most prominent emotions, your most prominent feelings that you lean into. You can do that now. You do not have to wait for specific results to create the emotional life that you want. That's a key to manifesting, by the way. But I just wanted to say that because, I think it's important to do that work around feeling the gratitude, feeling the appreciation, feeling the love, feeling the celebration, even with the weeks where it feels like not much is happening, right? Because it's not going to be a straight line. And so that's what I got for you with the 10x. Those are kind of the 5 main things that I learned along the way, but I also throughout the whole journey practiced all the manifestation principles and universal laws that I teach you all here in the podcast and dive deeper inside of the money manifestation movement, which is my coaching program. So that is how I did it, and I'm excited to create the next vision for myself. I will be sharing for sure as it comes about. As of now, I don't even know. I'm going to be meditating on the questions that I posed to you all, and I'm going to sit with them and think about it. And honestly, I kind of feel like once I'm finally in Hawaii and I'm in my home and things feel like complete around the move and all of that, then that's when the next 10x evolution is going to surface for me. But I'm so excited for you all, and I hope you've enjoyed the 100th episode of the podcast. Celebrate with me. All right, my friend, sending you so much love. Hey, thanks for listening. I hope this episode is something that you'll be able to add to your manifestation toolbox to come back to when you need a little extra motivation. If you like what you've heard today and want to take it deeper, you've got to come check out my signature coaching program, the Money Manifestation Movement. It's the place where you'll not only learn manifestation, but you'll begin to live it alongside me and an amazing community of like-minded entrepreneurs doing this work together. Head on over to jamieberman.com to learn more.